Welcome to Daytona, race number 16 of the Allstar Offline Racing Series. A lot of stuff happening last week at Michigan. A huge crash on lap number 16 took out so many cars, and a lot of cars in the top 10 we did not really expect to see up there. Great run for a lot of drivers. So we're going to qualify, we're going to accelerate the qualifying, get done with qualifying quick, and then go through all the storylines at the starting grid. Look at that, the number 60 of Colton Harmon gets the pole here at Daytona. Seems like he's been pretty strong at Daytona. Whoops, I'm not doing that. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so the 60 of Colton Harmon won the Gatorade Dual Race number 1, or the second one I believe it was, earlier in the season. One of Aiden O'File starting second. 16 of CJ Williams. One of the cars trying to make the top 32 in points after this race. CJ is 35th. He is 4 points from 33rd place, and he is 77. No wait, he is he is 71 points or 81 points. I'm sorry, my gosh, I can't do math. He is 81 points out of the top 32 in points. Logan Gentry on the outside of him. Brian Lancaster, that 148, upside down last week at Michigan. 41 of Tyrell Resner, had a win at California earlier this season. Cody Rhodes, a great run last week at Michigan, one of the strongest cars in that field. 09 Evan McCollum, you have 33 Sheila Harmon, a great finish last week. She won the qualifying race at Talladega, almost won the main race. Can she continue her super speedway run and qualify in, maybe even win this race or the main race? That 11 of Rhiannon Pickett involved in the big wreck, and she is still 33rd in points. Now, she is only 15, or no, I'm sorry. She is 77 points out from the leader, or not the leader, the 32nd place driver, Clint Spillman. She is one of the other drivers trying to get into the top 32. The 188 Racer X runner-up at Lowe's a couple races ago. 00 Jeremiah Dwayne won at Martinsville. He is 34th in points, and he is 76 points away from Clint Spillman. You have the 4 of Gary Harmon, who is about 20 points away from CJ Williams in 35th. He could, if he wins the main race, and if that number 30 or the number 8 have issues, he could get into the top 32 in points. It really could change after this race. We have the 20 of Yale Carrillo, the 66 Darvish Jr. Won last week at Michigan, a very dominating performance, led over half the race and won. 27 Benjamin Wallace, and starting last Tim Hoffman in that 40 car. It's the field going to start their pace lap, and then we're going to get underway here at Daytona. A lot of stuff could happen depending on who qualifies in and who doesn't. I would like to see the 16, the 00, the 11, and even the 4 qualify in, and then see if they can work their way into the top 32 in points after Daytona. Anything could happen. We saw the top 10 in points change a lot. A lot of drivers now closer to the points leader, who is still the 6 of Simon Zarnato. But for now, this is the qualifying race, and we are about to see, I believe, a wild race. It is Daytona. It is under the lights. Saw a massive crash in the shootout at the beginning of the year to start this season off. So the 60 of Colton Harmon going to lead the field to the green flag. Aiden O'File on the outside of him. And green flag in the air. They are now off underway. Now one thing, depending on the top 10 and such, if there's a driver that is pretty far back in points, I might let that number 60 car into the main race if he finishes in the top 10. Now, I haven't done that. Actually, I don't think I've been the 60 car of Colton Harmon. I don't think I've been in a race since North Carolina. Third race of the season. But Daytona, one of my favorite tracks, and I definitely, if I can get into the top 10, would like to make the race, but who knows if that'll happen. Look at the 16, CJ Williams looking down low for the lead. CJ Williams wants to put an whatever. He just wants to win this race. Let's go with that. It is really late at night, and I am recording. I'm so tired, but I probably shouldn't be recording. Oh well, CJ Williams will lead the first lap here at Daytona. There's still double file. That 50 of Cody Rhodes now trying to catch CJ Williams, trying to pass him. Haven't seen any 3 wide yet. Look at Cody Rhodes now on the inside. Going to try to take the lead away. Doesn't look like the outside line really too strong right now. I don't know if that outside line will be a factor. Haven't seen any 3 wide yet. That's actually kind of surprising. Getting ready to complete lap number 2. I mean, I know we're early in this race, but I thought we would see a lot of 3 wide racing. Look at Rhiannon Pickett. She is now right behind the 50 of Cody Rhodes. Oh, she turns him. And they save it, but they're going to come up the track. Is this going to be a crash? No. Wow. That was almost a big crash. That could have been tragic for a lot of cars. I thought the 11 or the 50 were going to come up into that 33 car of Sheila Harmon. Rhiannon Pickett almost turning that 50 around. They did make contact. Luckily, they didn't hit the inside wall. So now there's a breakaway up front. A couple cars are not really a single file or anything, but the 60 Colton Harmon took the lead. Now here comes 16 of CJ Williams yet again. Rhiannon Pickett now on the outside line. She's going to fall back. That 33 of Sheila Harmon is going to fall back as well. Just as I said, we were double file and there wasn't a lot of stuff happening. There was almost a wreck, so I think I jinxed the field already. The 148, Brian Lancaster now, he has the race lead, trying to get past that 16, trying to clear him. The cars were kind of all jumbled out of order and messed up after that little shuffle of cars. Almost wrecked. You see the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne last place right now. He needs to gain some positions. He needs to get to the front. If that 11 car of Rhiannon Pickett doesn't get to the front and does not qualify into this race, she is going to lose a lot of positions in the points and will probably not be able to get into the top 32 in points anytime soon. That 50 of Cody Rhodes out front now here at Daytona. Up front, it is now again double file. Gary Harmon pushing that 188 car into the lead here at Daytona. Darvish Jr., the main race winner at Michigan last week, he is now up to third. Third car on the inside line at 66. No cautions yet, but we saw a big moment here at Daytona. Look at Darvish Jr. now going to try to take second away from Gary. Gary Harmon on the outside, Racer X, that 188 car, second place at Lowe's, best finish of the season. For him, he's qualified in the main race a couple times, but second place is the best that he has done. That 66 has a win. The 27, Benjamin Wallace, probably should have won at Texas. He had a great car, probably one of the fastest cars there, but could not get it done, and now he is in second place. I think these drivers realized what happened earlier. They don't want to be caught up in a wreck, so I don't think we're going to really see any crazy stuff happen, at least not for another 10 laps or so. The last few laps could be wild. That 11 of Rhiannon Pickett, she's fallen off the pace. Right now, she is last. Look at the 20 of Yale Carrillo now, trying to pass the 188 car. Rhiannon's got to be careful back there. That number 11 car, if she loses any more ground, she will lose the pack. And when you lose the draft, you are really slow at this track, and after about 20 or 30 laps, could be in danger of going a lap down. Luckily for her, that won't happen in this race, but if you lose the draft and this race goes green flag, then you're not going to make the main race. So, a lot of stuff could happen here. They're double file still. That 20 car, Yale Carrillo, pretty happy about that. Look at the 41, Tyrell Resner, down low, going to try to take the lead away, and I think he is going to do it. That bottom line right now, very fast here at Daytona. The 11 of Rhiannon Pickett does managed to get back to the draft, to the back of the cars that are running here, so I don't think she'll lose the draft. We saw earlier this season, sometimes this race, you'll have a lot of wild racing, something will happen, and these cars will kind of go single file for a while, or double file even, and then it'll pick up all of a sudden. Someone will make a move later in the race, and then we will probably see a crash. I don't know if we will in the qualifying race. Tyrell Resner, the 41, in the lead. Here comes the 09, Evan McCollum. I think Evan is going to get the lead. The 41 going to try to come back on the outside. That outside line, not too bad. I mean, it is pretty strong. Tyrell Resner going to continue to lead this race from the outside line. Inside line does have a opportunity to pass and make moves. Obviously, if a car jumps down below that 09, it'd be 3 wide, and that could create some interesting scenarios. But everyone right now, they are content and running double file. Looks like that the 148 car back there, the bright blue car, Brian Lancaster, looked like he jumped out of line. I think he was trying to make it 3 wide. He did lose a little momentum there. We are a little over halfway here at Daytona in the qualifying race. Pretty quiet race so far. Will we have anything happen? Will we have a crash? See the 11th through 17th place cars not in this race as of now, not in the main race. That 41 Tyrell Resner still leading this race. He has a strong car right now. Can he hold off the rest of the field? He's going to go down low. He's going to block that 09 of Evan McCollum. I am surprised we've just been seeing double file. I thought for sure we would see a lot of 3 wide racing. Saw it early on, but it has died down for the most part. That 11 Ryan Pickett falling off the pace again. She actually might lose the draft this time. She's about a half a second away. What would help her out right now is if they did start to go 3 wide up here. Oops. That could help her out. The 09 Evan McCollum scoots out just a little bit in front of the 41 of Tyrell Resner. Evan McCollum is going to be the race leader now, unless that 41 can come back on the outside. Looks like he is going to. This could be a photo finish of a race if they stay like this. Look, the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, I thought he was going to go below 33 Sheila Harmon and make it 3 wide. He didn't quite yet. A lot of cars getting really antsy. We've got 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go. You need to make a move. You need to start going right now. You can't just... If you're, let's see, the 00 Jeremiah Dwayne, if you are that 4 car, Gary Harmon, or anyone else behind him, that 40 car, there, you can't just stay like this. You need to go right now. You need to start making moves and climb through the field. Oh, there's some contact. The 09 Evan McCollum. Oh, no. This is going to be a big one, I think. The 20 of Yo Carrillo up the track. There's going to be a crash. Oh, no, there's not. Are you serious? No crash. The caution lights are not on the pace car. Tyrell Resner, Racer X, Benjamin Wallace, the top 3. Evan McCollum 4th, 5th, Sheila Harmon. And then all the way back here, there's a lot of cars that are going to scramble for position. Oh my gosh, that was interesting. The 188 car going to take the lead away from Tyrell Resner. There's no drafting help up here. See the 4 of Gary Harmon. He is really slow. He is off the pace. He is not going to qualify into the main race, unfortunately. Yo Carrillo, Darwish Jr. after winning last week, he is really far back here. He is in 15th. Rhiannon Pickett and a lot of these drivers now, they're 3 wide. These drivers all know that they need to qualify. They need to do something. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. Evan McCollum, he fell back. Let's see, they were 2.20 seconds away. They're 3 seconds back. Are they faster than the leaders right now? They're running about the same laps, I believe. So, wow. Jeremiah Dwayne, 4th. And it looks like the 60 and the 09 might be in the race right now. The 91, the 33, the 1, and the 11 are not in the race at the moment. We will go up and look at the leaders here in a second, but if there's a wreck back here, that could give the 4 of Gary Harmon, the 20 of Yale Carrillo, or the 66 of Berbers Jr. a chance to gain some positions and possibly make the race. What if the leaders wreck? If the leaders wreck, that would open up a lot of positions. So 2 laps to go here. 3 cars up here battling for the lead. 4th place, Jeremiah Dwayne. He hasn't really gained anything over these cars. Jeremiah Dwayne going to fall back now. So the top 7 cars in this group are going to qualify into the race. Look at Colton Harmon making a move on the inside. Thought he was going to try to make it 3 wide. We're coming up to the white flag here at Daytona. Saw a pretty calm race, and like I said, I thought there was going to be a lot of stuff happening near the end of the race. The 09 clipped the 20, and then almost had a huge crash. The 188 of Racer X takes the lead on the last lap. 1 more lap to go here at Daytona. Go back here. This is really where we want to focus, because this is the qualifying position. This is the final transfer spot. 4 cars in this field. The final 4 cars are not going to make the field. Look at that 00 Jeremiah Dwayne. He wants to make the race. I don't think he's going to. He is really far back. The 11 of Rhiannon Pickett is, I think, going to make the race. The 16 should make the race. The 188, meanwhile, he is going to easily win this race. There's not a move or anything happening up front here. So Racer X is going to win the race. Wow, look at this. Coming to the line. Who is it going to be that... Oh my god, the 00 doesn't make it. The 40, the 50, and the 148. I don't think any of those drivers are going to make the main race. Wow. We saw a very wild race. Started out wild. Rhiannon Pickett almost wrecked. So, Rhiannon Pickett, the 11, she will make the race. And that 16 of CJ Williams will make it as well. The 00 Jeremiah Dwayne and the 4 of Gary Harmon are not going to make the race. So their chances of getting into the top 32 are over right now. However, Rhiannon Pickett, CJ Williams, they have a shot at making the main race. So Racer X wins the race, wins the qualifying race. Tyrell Resner, Benjamin Wallace, Colton Harmon, Evan McCollum are the top 5. Logan Gentry, Sheila Harmon, Rhiannon Pickett, Aiden O'File, and CJ Williams will qualify their way into the race. It's going to be an interesting race. We just saw a wild qualifying race. Let's go back and take a look at that. I want to call it a crash. It wasn't really a crash, but let's go back and take a look at that. What happened. So they weren't 3 wide. That's the thing. Or wait, was it this lap? It might have been the next lap, actually. The 20 went down low, and the 09, he couldn't go anywhere. The 20 of Yale Carrillo went down low, and I don't know how any of these drivers saved it. Logan Gentry, Benjamin Wallace, my gosh. They really saved it there. That was amazing. Let's watch the 20 of Yale Carrillo. I mean, right here, you see the 20, he's starting to go down low. And yeah, he was not clear. He just made contact with that 09 up the track. Look at the 91 and the 27. They were sideways, and they saved it. The 27 of Benjamin Wallace was sideways. I can't believe he saved that race car. I want to see something here. Let's watch on board the 91 of Logan Gentry. You were going to see how sideways that 27 car was. Going to see just how well these cars made it through. Let's watch right in front of this. The 20 of Yale Carrillo goes down into the 09. This is exactly where the wreck happened in the shootout race. Fortunately, a lot of cars made it through. Look at that, Benjamin Wallace, and he finished in the top 3. That is the most impressive thing ever. Qualifying race was exciting. The Daytona night race is up next. It is gonna be a blast. Stay tuned, we'll be back here at Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona. We are getting ready for the qualifying for the main race. We just saw a pretty eventful qualifying race. Normally the qualifying races are not really boring, but there's no crashes or any kind of physical contact between the drivers just because they're trying to make it into the race. We did see Yale Carrillo come down into Evan McCollum, and that almost created a huge crash. Luckily, everybody went away without wrecking, but a couple cars hit the wall. One of the biggest storylines I think we're going to see in this race is the 11 of Randon Pickett, the 8 of Clint Spillman, and the 16 of CJ Williams. They're all trying to fight for a top 32 position in points. Clint Spillman has it currently, but Randon Pickett and CJ Williams looking to get in the top 32. We're going to simulate the qualifying and just finish the whole session so we can begin the race. Looks like the 148 car, Brian Lancaster, going to get the pole. So let's go right down into the starting lineup here. So you see Brian Lancaster, his first pole in a main race. Jacob Britt second. Third, Randon Pickett, one of the drivers that we were just talking about. Fourth, Bruce Zero. Really good car last week at, last race at Michigan. Almost won the race, finished second. Jacob Johnson at 90. We have not really talked about him at all this season. The 0 of Alex Bruno, been pretty impressive as of late. Had a few good finishes. The 60 of Colton Harmon, first race since, I actually believe, Daytona and or North Carolina. So he is in this race for the first time in a very long time, and he has been in all the qualifying races, but that's it. A 74 of Logan York, fell a bit. He had an issue at Pocono, was involved in a crash, and he was involved in the big one last week at Michigan. The 25 Felix Boucher starting up near the front, one of the points contenders, beside the 1 of Aiden O'File. The 42 Hugo Jimenez, the pole sitter here for the Daytona 500. We know he usually has fast cars here, so he's going to try and do something. 97 of Gavin Jones, not really a good season for him. He's waiting for the next season to start. 43 Dos Montenegro, up in 30th in points. He still could fall below the top 32 if he crashes. We have the 32 of Brett Taylor. He was involved in a wreck last week, or last race. The 6 of Simon Arnato had a good run going. Qualified second for the 500 earlier this season. Involved in a wreck in his dual race, so he had to start in last place. Gonna try to get some redemption here. 24 Pablo West, DNF at Daytona. So he's gonna try to win or something at least. 30 of Ron Jackson. He has struggled the last couple weeks. He has fallen back. I think he's in 29th now in points. 18 of Kagan Polshiner, hasn't really done anything this season. 80 of Stephen Pollard, one of the points contenders in the top 5. Right beside him is the 16 of CJ Williams, trying to get to the top 32 in points so he doesn't have to qualify his way in. 12 of Sam Oskin, the Daytona 500 winner. Look for him to be pretty strong today. The 15 of Hunter Blade. 27 Benjamin Wallace. The 2 of Tim Brannigan. The 38 of Sean Howell and the 88 of Josh Hardiman. Have the 33 of Sheila Harmon. She won the qualifying race at Talladega earlier this season. 37 Cesar Ramirez. We have the 7 of Tina Livingston. The 188 Racer X won the qualifying race tonight. We have the 14 Sarah Rocha. She's been the points leader for the majority of the season. Lost it at Pocono after being involved in the first crash on lap number 1 at Pocono. So the 41 right beside her, Tyrell Resner, been pretty impressive, won California. 81 Skylar Rocha. He's been impressive early on, kind of lacked a good car in the last few weeks. Great run last week though. Same with that 48 Ryan Benjamin, top 5 finish for him. That was very refreshing. 04 John Book, he moved up in the points after Michigan last week. 09 Evan McCollum, still able to qualify his way into this race after being involved in that kind of crash that happened in the qualifying race. The 8 of Clint Spillman, really far back in the field. Same with 45 of Tim Zimmer. Tim is in the top 5 in points. 99 Axel 0. The 17 Alexander Jones. We had the 5 of Damian Singletary and the 21 of Robbie Bannister. Robbie ended up winning Talladega. So look for him to be strong.
Drivers, start your engines!
So the driver's being told to start their engines. We're going to be green flag in just a few moments. 40 laps is the distance here at Daytona. 50 laps was the distance in the Daytona 500, so this is just a little bit shorter. We've seen speedway or super speedway racing this year be so crazy. A lot of crashing at Talladega. It was probably, I would think, more crashes than racing. About the last 12 or 15 laps at Talladega were green flag. The Daytona 500 had some pretty good racing. There was wrecks near the middle of the race and then the end of the race. So what is in store for us tonight? We saw the other night race at Daytona this year was the shootout, and we saw a massive crash that took about half the field out of the race. So the 148 Brian Lancaster gonna lead the field to the green flag. They're nearing the start-finish line, and we are underway. Green flag in the air. He is gonna lead the field across the start-finish line. Everybody's staying double file right now. Look at the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett. She's going to try to make a move early on underneath that 148. So Rhiannon Pickett going to try to go to the race lead. Brian going to see if he can maybe clear that 29, and he does. So he's not going to lose the draft. He's not going to be stuck in the middle by himself. 30 of Ron Jackson underneath the 6 of Simon Zarnato. That's kind of mid-pack. Rhiannon Pickett looks like she might lead the first lap here at Daytona, unless that 90 of Jacob Johnson can get past her. Rhiannon Pickett trying to fight hard to stay in the top 32 in points. And right now, if she can lead a lap, she will definitely do that. They're double file all the way back. Jacob Johnson now on the bottom. Rhiannon Pickett going to lose the lead, and she's got about 3 car lengths between her and the 148 car. So she is going to fall back outside of the top 5. So now the 90 car Jacob Johnson is the race leader. See the 60 of Colton Harmon, the 25 Felix Boucher right behind that 90 car. Look at Aiden O'File jumping out of line. Felix Boucher now, he's going to get hung out. Colton and Jacob Johnson on the inside, they went to block that one. Aiden O'File still, he's going to go down low. He's going to put Colton up on the middle line there. Still too wide for the most part all the way back through the end of the field. There's a couple cars in the back racing. They're 3 wide. I think Jacob Johnson might have led that lap just barely over the one of Aiden O'File. So Aiden O'File now the race leader. Look at Hugo Jimenez, the 43 Dawson Montenegro as well. Dawson's up to 3rd. He just wants to have a good run so he does not fall out of that top 32 position. Couple cars trying to make a move, but nobody can really go anywhere right now. I'm surprised we're seeing 3, or I'm surprised we're not seeing 3 wide yet. We do see it a little bit further in the back. Aiden O'File going to get shoved out. Now Hugo Jimenez, the 42 car, he's going to take the lead away. Now there's a little bit of racing. Here comes that 16 of CJ Williams. That top line does have some help now. I don't know how strong that line's going to be. Racer X has fallen all the way back. That's that 188 car. Started up near the front of the field, and he is almost all the way in last now. Hugo Jimenez trying to fight on the outside, trying to stay in front of the 43 of Dawson Montenegro. They make some contact. Dawson up the track and hits the 42. I know side drafting is a thing, but I don't think tap racing or I don't know. That's not bump drafting, that's for sure. They made some contact there, and Dawson, I think, is going to lead this race now. He's going to be able to clear that 42 car if he chooses. Now, Hugo Gemini is going up the track. Here comes the 16 of CJ Williams. He's going to try to get the lead from Dawson, and he's going to try to lead a lap. Hugo Gemini is going to possibly fall pretty far back now. He is on the outside, but he is pushing that one of Aid Nofile down. Aid Nofile now doesn't have help. That's a scary place to be when you have that many cars right beside you. Now the 43 and the 42 are on the outside. They're going to possibly lose the draft. Well, not the draft, but they're going to lose some positions there. Just being up by themselves, not a good thing. Look at the 80 of Stephen Pollard now trying to get the lead from the 16 of CJ Williams. Something happened in the back of the field here. I don't know if there was a crash. Oh, there is a crash. Who is that? Kagan Polshiner. So, caution flag number 1 already out. Stephen Pollard going to be the race leader. Ah, Clint Spillman. Oh, no. Josh Hardiman, Axel 0. Tim Zimmer has damage. The 32 of Brett Taylor. Simon Zarnato, the points leader. Oh, my gosh. This is not good. Hunter Blade has damage. You see a couple cars here hitting each other. So caution number 1, I don't know what exactly happened. There was a crash over here, unless that was the reason for the caution. Logan York is in pit road. He has damage. A lot of damage there. Oh my gosh, already a crash. I don't know what exactly happened, what all happened. But we're going to have to go back and look. A lot of cars damaged. The points leader, I think, is out of the race. Simon Zarnato out of the race. Clint Spillman out of the race. He was 32nd in the points. So now he is going to fall, I believe, outside of the top 32. Is it going to be the 11 or the 16 that are going to make it up into the top 32 and push that 8 out? The 16, CJ Williams, he is running 2nd place right now. And I think everybody is going to come down pit road. Everybody should be able to make it on fuel and tires. Yeah, every single car coming down pit road. So we're going to watch and see who comes out and what position. See, Simon Zarnato going to finish 38th. 39th is Kagan Polshiner. 40th, Logan York. 41st, Clint Spillman. And 42nd, Axel 0. So a lot of cars out of the race. Stephen Pollard is going to get the... Wow, look at that. The 12th Simon Oskin 2nd. Stephen Pollard did come out 1st. CJ Williams is going to lose a lot of positions. Stephen Pollard going to be the race leader. Simon Oskin going to be 2nd. 3rd, Benjamin Wallace. So CJ Williams did fall back quite a bit. 33 of Sheila Harmon. She comes from 19th up into the top 10, maybe even the top 5. But she's going to be in 6th place. Everybody, hopefully they can slow down. Ooh, CJ Williams almost in the back of Cesar Ramirez. These cars are not that good at slowing down, it looks like. Ooh, the 14. Oh my gosh. Oh, Skylar Roach into the back of the 42. Hugo Jimenez. I think Colton Harmon might have got damage. Oh, if he didn't, he definitely did there. Gavin Jones. That's always an issue I've seen at this track at Daytona. The cars do not slow down in time after pit stops. Brett Taylor is on pit road. Let's go back and see what happened. I think they were in turn 3 and 4 because, yeah, I saw skid marks there. So let's, oh, Clint Spillman spun the 74 out. That was exactly what happened in the All-Star race, or not the shootout. My gosh, that was a hard hit. That was the big one, I believe. Holy moly! And you see the 74 Logan York barrel rolling, flipping wildly. But yeah, you see that was exactly what happened in the shootout at the beginning of the year. same exact spot, a car turned another car down low, and Logan York actually hit the inside wall. That was a hard hit, and then they all wreck, and my gosh, cars are upside down. Look at this flip here. Oh, hard hit for Logan York. No wonder he was out of the race. Flipping like that is not good. Simon Zornato out. Gonna go through and look what happened with him. We're gonna watch actually slow motion here. See, the 8 comes up and hits these cars here. The 74 goes up and just finishes them. At one point, the 6, Simon Zornato, he was all the way up in the air. No wheels touching the ground at all. And while that was happening, we were watching these cars up here. So the first caution, a pretty big wreck that we somehow missed. 5 cars out of the race. Everybody is okay from that wreck. So Stephen Pollard, the leader. Sam Odoskin, second. Third, Benjamin Wallace. Fourth, Sean Howe. Fifth, Dawson Montenegro. Sixth, Sheila Harmon. Seventh, Cesar Ramirez. Eighth, Tyrell Resner. Ninth, CJ Williams. And 10th is Tina Livingston. So, one of the points contenders, the 45, Tim Zimmer. Another one, 29, Jacob Britt. The 32 of Brett Taylor. Even the 88 of Josh Hardiman. They're having issues already. The 25, Felix Boucher, are pretty far back in this field. Felix is back in 30th. Doesn't look like a whole lot of cars have damage. Oh, whoa! The 80 of Stephen Pollard. I don't know what's going on with him. He is slow on the bottom of the track. Is that a tire? Or he is losing speed, I think. No, he's now gaining speed. I don't know what happened with him. So Stephen Pollard is going to hand the lead over to the 12 of Sam Odoskin. And this could be big for that number 80 car. Stephen Pollard is back up to speed. I don't understand what's happening with him. Oh, real quick, let's go back here. Before we get the restart, I want to see one more thing. The caution. There was a wreck up here in turn 1 and 2. I think. I just want to see, want to see what happened there before we get back to green. I think there was a wreck. It looked like there might have been a wreck, maybe not. Oh, yeah, there was. It was just a little spin out, so that's alright. So going up through the field here, Stephen Pollard still on the bottom of the track. I believe that's probably a tire issue, and that is unfortunate for him. He might go a lap down here. Depends on how long we go green flag for. If we go green the rest of the way, that 80 car is out of the picture. He is not going to be a contender for the win. So Stephen Pollard on pit road. The lead is going to be handed over to the 12 of Sam Odoskin. Oskin won the 500 earlier. Green flag in the air. You see the 27 made a really aggressive move, and here he is again. Benjamin Wallace for the lead. Look at the 43, Dawson Montenegro as well. They're on the bottom of 12 of Sam Odoskin already. Trying to make some moves early. We're not even halfway in this race yet, and we're getting really aggressive already. So Sam Odoskin restarted first, already getting past for the lead. Benjamin Wallace going to be the race leader now. Sam Odoskin, though, he's holding on that outside line. I don't think Samet wants to give up his leads yet. It doesn't look like the outside line. It is pretty fast, I guess, but it's definitely not the fastest line around this track. You can hold on to positions, but we have not seen that line able to pass. But that outside line also does not have a lot of cars up top working with them. Now it's 6 cars on the top, 6 cars on the bottom. Here comes Aiden No-File and many others. So Benjamin Wallace out front. Let's see the 80 of Stephen Pollard. He is on the front stretch, the tri-oval. He is about a half a lap down. So Stephen Pollard right now not in contention, but if we get another wreck, then that could really be good for that 80 car. He'll be able to get up through the field and possibly stay on the lead lap. Look at Sam Odoskin on the outside, still holding on to second. I do want to go through and see how fast some of these drivers are. See, Brett Taylor is a little bit off the pace, so is Tim Zimmer. They're not too slow. These cars back here, they're running pretty quick. So see who all can get to the front here. Look at Sam Odoskin fighting back on that outside line. Sean Howe was spun out after the caution, and he is up in the top 5. The 43 Dos Montenegro, the 16 CJ Williams, right behind that 27 car. We saw a lot of 2-wide racing early at the start of this race, and then it kind of changed into 3-wide racing. And it's right now, again, 2-wide racing. I think we have about 30 cars that are going to be in this lead pack. A lot of stuff still could happen here at Daytona. Looks like Benjamin Wallace might have cleared that 12, maybe not. That inside line's got like 20 cars in line. The outside line somehow able to keep up on the straight. I have no idea how. So Benjamin Wallace still leading here at Daytona. See all these cars in this lead pack now. Everybody trying to get formed to back up. We're still really early in this race, not even halfway through the race yet. Still double file. Don't know if anybody's going to make a move yet. I think everyone is pretty content at where they're running. Maybe not that 16 of CJ Williams. Look at him. He's trying to get below the 43. He might be able to get below him. I'm not sure. I thought Dawson was going to try to get through the middle of the 27 and the 12, but that did not happen. .80 of Stephen Pollard is off the pace. He is a bit slower. You see the 45 of Tim Zimmer, 32 of Brett Taylor. They're pretty slow as well. Josh Hardiman has a lot of damage. He is only at 180 miles an hour, and everyone else pretty much up to speed. Stephen Pollard is going to go a lap down here shortly if we don't get a caution. Look at back here. They're 4 wide. Can they make it through the turn without wrecking? Oh, they made contact. The 25, Felix Boucher, again they make contact. Oh, Alex Bruno's going to go around. And there's a crash. Rhiannon Pickett's involved. Oh, Bruce 0, Jacob Johnson. Oh, Alex Bruno. Hard into the wall. Look at the 25. Up the track and into the wall hard. Oh my gosh. And Felix Boucher, that's a hard hit for him. I don't know if he might be able to get that car repaired. A lot of damage to the right side of his car. Caution number 2 out, and these cars up here still racing. I think the 27 is going to have the race lead. And that is going to put the 80 of Stephen Pollard back on the lead lap somehow. He lucked out there. Couple more laps, he would have been a lap down. That wreck started in turn 4 and ended up in turn 1. Crazy. So just about halfway through here, you see Stephen Pollard. Tim Zimmer on the bottom of the track. I don't know what happened with him. I don't think he had damage. I don't think he was even in that wreck, but I guess he was. Brandon Pickett, heavy damage to her car. Same with Alex Bruno and Bruce Zero. And yeah, a lot of cars damaged. A couple more cars are probably going to be out of the race. See Tim Zimmer able to get back out on the track. That 25 Felix Boucher, we're watching him. He is one of the points contenders. Same with that 45 of Tim Zimmer. Tim Zimmer back in the race, but all of those cars are not. I don't think we're going to have any pit stops. So we're going to have to go back and look, see what happened. No one has retired from this race yet. Felix Boucher is able to get out on the track. Same with the 11 of Rhiannon Pickett and the 17 Alexander Jones. Well, let's go back and see that wreck. See what exactly happened. Like I said, I mean, it started in turn 1. You see, watch the 25 there. Made some contact with the 1. Actually, John Book and the 0. 4 and the 0 made contact, and they made contact again. And, oh, that was like a chain reaction crash. It went up through the field. See a lot of stuff happening there. And then, oh, Alex Bruno and the 17, they made contact. And, oh, wrecked. Unfortunate day for Alex Bruno. He had a great car. See that contact there, and then contact a few other places on the track, and some of these cars just wrecked. Right there was the hard hit, and that's what's going to take the 0 car out of this race. So the 27, Benjamin Wallace, is the race leader. This 9 and the 0 still are on pit road, but they are going to be a lap down. I mean, they're going to be out of the race, that is. They have heavy damage on their cars, so they are not going to be in contention for this win. So a lot of cars with damage from that wreck. Not sure how it's going to affect the rest of the field, but there are a lot of cars with damage. Rhiannon Pickett did not want this to happen. Involved in a crash. The 8 of Clint Spillman out of the race in 41st, and the 11, Rhiannon Pickett, was hoping that she could finish up near the front. Right now, CJ Williams up in 5th place. So CJ right now having a great run. See the 80 of Stephen Pollard back on the lead lap. A lot of these cars, they're damaged off the pace. So we will be right back. Give us about a minute or two. We'll be back with more action here at Daytona. And we are back here at Daytona. The pace lights are off. We will get the green flag with 20 laps to go. It'll be halfway through this race. A lot of stuff happening already. There's still a good bit of racing left. Anything else can happen. Saw the 0 and the 9. 0 Alex Bruno, the 9 of Bruce 0 are both out of the race. So 35 cars left. Everybody's still on the lead lap after halfway. But I don't think that's going to last. I think we're going to have a lot of cars that are going to be really slow and off the pace because of the last crash that happened. The first crash is considered the big one that we had. Pretty big wreck that took a lot of cars out, and there was a big flip with the 74 of Logan York. Said at Michigan that this track was going to give us a lot of unknowns. It was going to really shake things up, and I think it's doing its job right now. We saw the 8 of Clint Spillman out of the race, the 11 Randon Pickett 33rd, and the 16 of CJ Williams is in 5th. He might be in the top 32 at the end of this race. He has missed a couple races because he's had to qualify his way in, and a couple times he has not made it into this race. So the field going to complete the halfway point of this race. 20 more laps left here at Daytona. The 27 of Benjamin Wallace is going to be the race leader, and we are back underway here at Daytona. A big start for that 38 and the 12th car. The 12th Sam Oz is going to look it all over the 27 for the lead. Here we go, green flag. What will happen next? Will we have another crash? Sam Oz trying to get the lead away. That 27 does not have any immediate help. Look at the 16 of CJ Williams. He's trying to get up towards the front as well. He actually might try to pass Dawson here on the backstretch. Dawson Montenegro now going to try to pass the 12 of Sam Oskin. Sam Oskin not going to have any help, so he is going to fall back a little bit. Dawson Montenegro leading this race. He is one of the best, it seems like, at Super Speedway racing this year. Won the Allstar race. Won his Gatorade shootout. Did not do too well in the 500 or Talladega, but still started off the season with a pretty good bang. Look at the 16 now, CJ Williams. He knows the 11 car is in trouble and off the pace, so now he is leading this race. Look at the 38, Sean Howe, right behind the 16. He wants a good finish. He wants to try to win this thing. And Sean Howe going to try. He is now going for the lead. Look at the 148 Brian Lancaster. He was going to try to pass the 7 of Tina Livingston. Tina Livingston going to move up the track a little bit. Ooh, and I thought they were going to make some contact there, but they don't. Sean Howe is going to lead this race now. He is going to get a bonus, well, 5 bonus points. See a lot of cars. Stephen Pollard, I think, might be the last car that is going to be on the lead, or in the lead draft. And Stephen Pollard is back in 26th. So, see if those cars can make it up to the front here. If they can't, there's going to be 24 cars left in this front pack. Meanwhile, up front, look at the 148 Brian Lancaster going to try to get the lead. Real quick, I want to go back and see here. Alexander Jones really slow. Felix Boucher, Randon Pickett are slow on the track. Brett Taylor and Tim Zimmer, they're working together. Jacob Johnson, everyone else up to speed. That 17 car, though, not up to speed. Actually, it looks like we might only have 23 cars in this lead pack. So, Aiden O'File now on the inside. Look at the 14 of Sarah Rocha. Trying to capitalize on her day. That 6 of Simon Zornato. Finishing 38th today. He is out of the race. Sarah Roach now the race leader. Still a lot could happen. Anything could happen here at Daytona. I don't know if we're going to have another wreck. We might. The way these cars are racing. So Sarah Roach are going to lead this lap, I believe. The 41 Tyrell Resner going to try to get past her. They're still double file. Looks like the 04 John Book is going to be the final car that is in this lead pack. He is back in 24th. Stephen Pollard back in 25th. So Stephen Pollard not having a great run right now. That 24 Pablo West in the back. I thought he was going to try to go up through the middle, but the hole closed up and he couldn't do that. 15 laps to go this time by at Daytona. The 14 Sarah Rocha has had 2 wrecks in the last 2 races, and here she is leading this race at Daytona. Doing a pretty well job. That 1 of 8 no foul still trying to take the lead away on the outside. The 17 car is going to go a lap down here very soon. He is really slow off the pace. He is in the middle of the backstretch. These cars are just now entering the backstretch, so it's just a matter of maybe 3 or 4 laps before he goes a lap down, and that is going to spread this field out a lot. 14 Sarah Roach on the inside, the 1 of 8 no foul on the outside. They're battling really close with each other. That 41 Tyrell Resner looked like he might have been looking on the inside there. Thought he was going to make it 3 wide, but he didn't. The 04 John Book has caught the pack, so 23 cars in this lead draft. Here at Daytona, 14 laps to go. That one, he led that lap the last time by. He's holding strong on the outside. Here's the 17 of Alexander Jones. Which line is he going to slow up? Is there going to be a crash? Oh, the 14 Sarah Rocha. She is going to get caught behind that 17. That's going to allow the top 3 aid no file, Brian Lancaster, Sean Howe, to take the top 3 positions away. And now everyone else behind that 17, they're going to get slowed down. And actually, let's see here. All these cars getting slowed down. Look at that. They're really slow. They need to get past this 17 car. CJ Williams, a lot of cars back here falling back. Oh, the 17 not getting out of the way. He really needs to get out of the way here. So these cars up here, they're starting to pull away from some of these other guys. I think it might be too late for some of those cars back here. So we look up front here, the top 3 cars, they're going to get caught by another group of cars in just a few moments. Sean Howe is the race leader here at Daytona. Let's look and see what the speeds are like. They're about 189, 188 in the turn. These cars here are catching them at an alarming rate. Now the other thing, there's a few more cars that are slow. Felix Boucher and Rhiannon Pickett, they're about to go a lap down. That might allow some of these other cars to catch up. Eight no file, the race leader. And now here, the 25 and the 11, they're going to go 1 lap down. They're going to get in the way. There's contact. Felix Boucher turns around. And there's a big crash on the backstretch. The 38, Sean Howe's upside down. A lot of cars involved. He is still flipping. Oh my gosh. And a lot of cars. A huge crash on the backstretch. Colton Harmon, Sarah Rocha. Oh my gosh. Gavin Jones, Sean Howe, upside down. A huge crash here at Daytona. I would say that's dubbed as the Pig one. I don't know who the race leader is. Is it the 21? Robbie Bannister? No, it's, oh, Aiden Nofile? Okay, so a couple cars here. Hugo Jimenez, third. Wow. A lot happening. Stephen Pollard is up in the top 10 somehow. CJ Williams made it through that wreck. This is going to change everything. Benjamin Wallace in pit road. I don't know if he has damage. Yeah, he does. Sean Howe out of the race. He had told me at the beginning of the season if he was not upside down at Talladega that he was going to be mad. Well, you're upside down at Daytona. Wicked crash. That happened with the lap car there. Felix Boucher, he got turned around, and that created a massive incident. 10 laps to go right now. We're going to have maybe 5 or 6 laps left. Going to be an interesting restart. A lot of cars up near the front that are usually not near the front. Oh my gosh. It has been a wild race. Thought the first wreck was the big one, but this wreck definitely the big one. So a lot of cars coming down pit road. Ryan Benjamin. Oh, Gavin Jones out of the race. Tyrell Resner, Benjamin Wallace, Colton Harmon. They're back in this thing. Well, let's go back. Let's look at, I guess, maybe the 38. Look at his car. I don't know who, I don't know exactly who started that wreck. It might have been, I think it was the 09. Evan McCollum spun Felix Boucher out. See, they're so slow, and Felix down the track. Evan went up the track, and that's what blocked the entire track. You see, huge crash there. Oh gosh. And somehow some of those other drivers that just barreled through there were not involved. Let's look on the helicopter view. If Evan McCollum wouldn't have went up the track, I think everything would have been alright, but obviously a huge crash afterwards, and yeah, 43, yeah, somehow the 37 and the 12 made it through. They were stuck behind some lap traffic earlier. So a huge crash here at Daytona. Nearing the end of the race. See, just ever so slightly some contact made there. Let's go on board with a few cars here and see what they saw. So 14 Sarah Rocha. You see a car get turned around, and you see a big crash then. What a view. You can see that 38 flipping upside down. Let's look at the 60, maybe not. 60 of Colton Harmon. He was involved in that crash. He had quite a bit of damage. He was really far back. Let's actually go up front here and see the 41 of Tyrell Resner. And wow, you can see all those cars there flipping and wrecking. So a massive crash. Under caution here, not too many more laps left. You see Gavin Jones retired and Sean Howe have retired. I will be right back. We'll definitely catch the end of this race. Hold on 1 second. Had a phone call I had to take, so I just paused it. So here we go. Lap 35 out of 40 when we get the green to go, or green this time by. I had to pause the video, that's why it says all these cars are so many laps down. So green flag back in the air, Aiden No File, the race leader. Let's follow this 11 of Rhiannon Pickett because she is going to get in the way of a lot of cars back here. This could create a big issue. The top 3 cars able to pull away. Look at the 24 Pablo West trying to get by on the inside. Robbie Bannister on the inside. There's a lot of stuff going on back here. This is all from about 4th or 5th place on back. Oh, there's a crash. Sam Oskin around. Oh no, there's another crash. Big crash back here. The 09. Oh, the 90 of Jacob Johnson, Tim Zimmer, Skylar Rocha. And another crash. Lap traffic taking a lot of other cars with it. And possibly even another crash here. No, maybe not. We might not have another restart. That might have been the final restart of the race. And that might have been the final crash. And if that's the case, the one of Aiden O'File will be the race winner, followed by Brian Lancaster, Hugo Jimenez, Jacob Britt, Pablo West, Robbie Bannister, John Book, Stephen Pollard, and Ron Jackson and Cesar Ramirez. That was wild. So, a lot of chaos happening there, a lot of hard hits. Jacob Johnson's day is done, same with Evan McCollum. Dawson Montenegro was involved in that crash, and that is not what he wanted to have happen. I think he is actually slowing down. Tim Zimmer was involved. Sam Oskin was up near the front a little bit ago. Skylar Rocha, heavy damage to his car. We might have a one-lap shootout if they can get all of this cleaned up and figured out. I don't know how points are going to shake up after this, but what a wild wreck. Dawson Montenegro is still slow on the track. He might be done. Might be out of this race. I think he might have ran out of fuel, possibly. He is slow. I don't know if he's going to make it back around to pit road. So Dawson Montenegro, possibly out of the race. He has been limping around. That was just wild. Dawson, I think his race might be done. Let's go back. Let's check out what happened. The 09 Evan McCollum, he went for a wild ride with that wreck. So let's see here. Evan McCollum. That was right on the restart. I don't know. Oh, him and Dawson actually hit the wall. And then you see Jacob Johnson, Tim Zimmer, Skylar Rocha, Tyrell Resner. Somehow the majority of these cars made it through without damage. Felix Boucher, did he get damage? I think Felix might have made it through. Yeah, he did. Look at the 41 Tyrell Resner. Another crash happening up front here. He just goes right through it. He does hit Skylar, but oh, that would have been a crazy crash. Look at Dawson Montenegro. Look at his view. So the 11 Ryan Pickett was holding up all these cars. Dawson ended up. Oh, actually, Sam Oskin spun 37 at first, and then Sam got spun out. And you just see all sorts of chaos happening back here. I don't know how they didn't wreck right here. That was crazy. So now we're going to go to, what lap are we on? So lap 39, we are going to have a one-lap restart. This is going to be awesome, guys. This is going to be amazing. What we've wanted to see. 16 of CJ Williams. He is back in 12th. He is having a good run right now. I don't know. Will we have another crash? Will we be able to finish this thing? I don't know if Aiden Nofile is going to be able to hold on or not. He is going to be mad if he can. Top 10 cars are in front of that 11 car. There's a lot of cars, though. And remember, lap traffic held up, or lap traffic was the cause of that last caution. Will we see a crash again on the last lap? It's going to be difficult watching the leaders and watching lap traffic. Stephen Pollard up in 8th place. He was almost a lap down. Got a caution flag and was able to get back in to the race. So a one-lap shootout, and this is exactly how the Bud shootout earlier in the season kicked off the season, with a one-lap shootout, and here we are again, another one-lap shootout. One of Aiden Nofile is hoping that he can get a good run on that last restart. He kept the lead, so we'll see if that's the case this time by green flag. One more lap to go here at Daytona. Aiden O'File got a pretty good start. Brian Lancaster, that 148, did as well. The 11 Randon Pickett, slow again on the restart. Let's go back and look at some of these cars. The 16 CJ Williams is not able to get by. He is going to lose some positions. Up front, the top two cars separate themselves just a little bit. This might be bad for the one. If they get a run, he is not going to get the win. Aiden O'File hoping he can get the win here at Daytona. Here we go, the 148, Brian Lancaster, right now. He is going to try to get the lead away from Aiden O'File. Aiden O'File has no drafting help. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be the 1 or the 148? I think it's going to be Brian Lancaster. Brian Lancaster gets an upset here at Daytona. He will win. And there was no crash on that restart at all, so that was good. Aiden O'File trying to get his first victory of the season. And he comes up just a tiny bit short. Somehow Stephen Pollard up to 5th. Sarah Rocha 12th, 2 of the points contenders. Oh my gosh. Well, that was quite the race. You see Brian Lancaster winning. Let's go back and see the finish of that. Let's see how close that was when they came by the line. Brian Lancaster, so close. I mean, Aiden O'File so close to winning, but Brian Lancaster was right there. Wow. And Riley Bannister, that 21 car, he told me before, if he's in that Air Force car, he always does good. Top 5 finish for him. So that is, I guess, true. It's very weird how that works out. Let's look at some of the cars in the back. See, Dawson Montenegro did retire. He had no fuel in the car. 29th. Let's see, the 11 of Randon Pickett, 26th. CJ Williams didn't finish too far ahead of her. I think 14th. So, I don't know if he's going to be in the top 32 in points or not. A lot of cars having trouble. Points contenders, Skylar Rocha. Let's see. Simon Zarnata, the points leader. Logan York, all out of the race. Tim Zimmer had issues. He finishes 25th. Felix Boucher, 27th. Right now, it looks like it might be Stephen Pollard and Sarah Rocha as the first 2 in points. Those 2 cars somehow managed to make it out without any crazy damage. But Ryan Lancaster, first win for him. And he is almost last in the points. It's amazing how well he did tonight. CJ Williams, he got stuck behind the 11 car and he fell back, finishing 12 positions ahead of Randon Pickett. He might not be in the top 32. It might be Randon Pickett. However, with Dawson Montenegro out of the race, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Jacob Johnson was out as well, so that could be pretty close. Congratulations to the 148 of Brian Lancaster. Let's go ahead and, oh, actually, hold on a sec. Brian Lancaster was the pole sitter as well. So Brian Lancaster gets the pole and wins the race. I didn't realize that. I just saw his pit sign there. So, first win for him. Another winner outside of the top 32 in points. So let's go ahead and see what the points are like. And I think they're going to be pretty scattered and pretty crazy. We will show you guys here in a few seconds. Stay tuned. So the points after race number 16 are now even tighter than they've ever been. The top 5, 59 points, separate 1st and 5th. Simon Zarnata did lose his points lead. Sarah Rocha regains the points lead. Stephen Pollard up to 3rd after his top 5 finish. Tim Zimmer stays in 4th, and Felix Boucher down to 5th. But they are 59 points. So 5 cars right now under a blanket. And 3 of the top 5 have wins. Tim Zimmer, Stephen Pollard, still winless this season. Sarah Rocha, no DNFs, but she's been in 2 crashes in the last 2 weeks. Same with Tim Zimmer. He does not have a DNF yet. I think they're the only two cars that have not wrecked and actually been out of the race. But you see more top 10s for Simon Zornato, Stephen Pollard, more top 5s for those two. 6th place, Tina Livingston, 117 points. Top 10 within 200 points of each other. Sam Doskin falling back to 10th. Skylar Rocha up to 9th. John Book, 8th place. 7th place, Brett Taylor. And 6th place, you see Tina Livingston. Logan York falling down to 16th in the points. Unfortunate for him. Alexander Jones as well. He's falling back 3 positions. Bruce Zero gaining 4 positions. Let's look at the bottom half of the field now. 32nd, CJ Williams. He made it into the top 32. I cannot believe that at all. So CJ Williams does not have to qualify his way into the main race next week at Chicagoland. Clint Spillman unfortunately falling back a position. Randon Pickett falling back a position, and Jeremiah Dwayne also falling back. Jeremiah Dwayne, Gary Harmon did not make the race. So CJ Williams is only, 1 point ahead of Clint Spillman. Are you serious? So Clint Spillman needs to make the race. If he can qualify into the main race and finish 1 position ahead, he will be in the top 32 again. Randon Pickett, 27 points out of the top 32. And Jeremiah Dwayne is about 85 or 89 or something like that. Gary Harmon's about 120 or so away. Sheila Harmon up to 37th in points. Aiden O'File has gained 5 positions with his top 5 finish. He's in 38th. And you see Brian Lancaster back here. He only gained 1 position over Colton Harmon. So Colton Harmon out of the race from the big wreck that had happened. Brian Lancaster, 48th in points. A lot of stuff happening this week at Daytona. The points closer than ever. And this is just, it's going to be so much fun to watch how these 5 drivers compete with each other and see if anybody else can make their way up into the front and get with these top 5 cars. Simon Zornato was your points leader before this race. Wrecked on the first crash out of the race. He falls back to 2nd. Tim Zimmer was involved in a couple crashes. Same with Felix Boucher. Sarah Rocha was not involved in a crash. And neither was Stephen Pollard. And they're the 2 cars that really benefit from this. Logan York, unfortunately, falling really far back. He has had 5 DNFs this season. So, not good for him. But we will see you guys next week at Chicagoland. 10 races remain in this season. I'm going to possibly try and do 3 races a week now, if I can, and try to get the season wrapped up. So a lot of stuff happening. Chicagoland and Indianapolis next week. We will see you guys then. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.